Hello and welcome to the Landlord Academy series. I'm Zach Snelling, the Head of Property Management for Ray White New Zealand, and this is our special Healthy Homes edition. Now, July 1 has been and gone. These rules are in force and all rental properties must comply with the Healthy Home Standards. This is why we're here with you today. We're going to tell you everything you need to know, get you across the key information and the dates, and point you in the right direction where you can find out more. So let's get into it. What is it all about? What are the Healthy Home Standards? You should know this by now. However, it's heating, ventilation, insulation, drafts, moisture stopping and drainage. So it's about making the safety and the health of our homes better for our tenants. Fixed heating sources in the living rooms, extractor fans in the kitchens and the bathroom to take out moisture, all that kind of thing. Again, more detail in our full Landlord Academy series, which I'll tell you about shortly. This video is designed to clear up some of the common misconceptions we're seeing from over 20,000 properties under management in New Zealand. They're often relating to compliance deadlines, the costs that are associated with healthy homes, and also to the consequences that may be there for waiting. A reminder, landlords, these rules are in effect now. July 1 has been and gone. Are you ready? You need to know at the moment, if you haven't done any of your compliance work, as a minimum, you should know what the specific requirements are for your property so you can start planning and start getting things underway. I want to reassure everyone though that compliance is entirely manageable. You've got this. You can do it, particularly with the help and the information that's available. The key thing is starting so you can plan ahead. So, what are we looking at for landlords across New Zealand? What are your requirements right now, today? The first one is the detailed Healthy Homes compliance statement that must be included in any tenancy agreement. So this is a 13-page document that covers off each of those 5 standards, how your property matches up to each, whether it passes or fails. If you don't have that document in your tenancy agreement right now, you should be checking. Have a look, tenancy.govt.nz. The key one there though, all rental properties as of now must comply with each of the 5 Healthy Home Standards within 90 days of the commencement date of any new or renewed tenancy. So, when you sign up a new tenancy or renew an existing tenancy, your commencement date is trigger and that 90-day countdown starts from that point. And that's in place now. Be careful though, because extensions and variations to tenancy don't enact the 90-day trigger, but please don't misuse the term extension or variation because the tribunal won't look at that one too kindly. Now, July 1, 2024 is the absolute deadline no matter what your circumstances are. A lot of questions coming from landlords. Can I just wait until 2024? In some situations, yes, you can. However, it's certainly not what I would advise because there are many consequences related to waiting. All you're going to do, landlords, is put yourself in the middle of an urgent situation. Look, we're already seeing tradesperson shortages, work backlogs, supply chain issues. COVID certainly hasn't helped that one. And we're seeing some low stock of some of those key components. So whether that's extractor fans or heat pumps, we're already noticing the impacts there. Supply and demand is also having an effect across New Zealand on those prices and the quotes that we've received. Quotes we received in 2019 are up on 2020, are up on even earlier this year. We're seeing some properties with quotes done in February 2021 and they've already increased sometimes by upwards of 20%. So get in there quick. Increased costs and income reducing vacancy periods could be the consequence of waiting there, because if you do leave everything to the last minute, you might find some of those delays. You might find yourself in a situation where you're asking, do I put the tenant in and take the risk, or do I have a vacancy period and wait? Now, another consequence there of waiting to the last minute is this lack of clarity you have and the issue of any time having a tenancy tribunal challenge. So if you don't know what's in place at your specific tenancy versus what's required, you are open to be challenged at any time. Tenants, rightly so, are well aware of the requirements of the Healthy Home Standards and what their rights are. However, there can be some misconceptions. Common one we hear is that every single home needs to have a heat pump. All homes must have fixed heating devices, but that doesn't necessarily mean a heat pump. It depends on the insulation you have in the property, the size of your living room, all sorts of things. However, if you leave that wide open and you don't do your assessment and you don't know, you allow for that misinterpretation to occur. So why not gain control and remove the risk? Tribunal action either way is going to force your hand and make the decision for you, and there are some hefty risks involved. So fines of up to $7,200 for landlords who may not comply. And even if you don't have that 13-page detailed statement in your tenancy agreement, there can be some risks there as well. So Looking at Healthy Homes compliance, what's to expect? What are the common costs? Bit of a news flash there for you. Across those 20,000 properties we manage in New Zealand, roughly 80% of them do not meet all of the standards the first time that they are assessed. No surprises there. Heating is often the one that is failing most commonly in the properties, and that is where a big chunk of your cost is going to come from. Moving down the list, ventilation, draft stopping, moisture and drainage, and then unsurprisingly, insulation is the least affected there, largely because of the 2016 insulation standards. So most, if not all, properties should already comply with that one. Now, I did a survey of our entire Ray White network, 187 offices, hundreds of staff, 20,000 properties, and I said, look, what is it costing you? What is the reality here? Here are some stats. So roughly 20% of our network said the cost was going to be between $500 and $1,000, and then pretty much an even split from there between $1,000 and $2,500 and $2,500 to $5,000. So whilst not insignificant amounts of money, it's clear to see that some of these costs there are relatively reasonable versus other factors such as the value of the property and capital gains, all sorts of stuff. The key thing though, the sooner you do it, the sooner you get yourself across what's needed at your property, the sooner you can plan and save. Now, financial assistance is available to landlords. We'll talk about that shortly. But what are my 4 steps to compliance? So landlords watching now going, gosh, I haven't done anything yet, or I'm not sure of what I need to do. Do these 4 steps and you will be fine. Firstly, visit tenancy.govt.nz. Learn the standards, learn the details, and understand if there are exemptions that may apply to your property. Now, the key one there, head to the same website and review that 13-page compliance statement. You will instantly see what your position is there, and also work through that heating assessment tool, because that'll tell you straight away where you need to go or what you might need to do. Step 2, obviously, is get that property assessed. The sooner you get someone through, having a look, working through the calculations, the sooner you know exactly what your specific needs are. Now, I raise a few questions there. Can you assess yourself? The answer is yes, you can, but I'll throw another question right back at you, and that is, should you? So with these assessments, with the information that's coming through, we have to provide calculations, measurements, evidence. The heating calculator in particular is incredibly detailed. If you're not prepared to go through that level of detail yourself, I highly recommend using a skilled professional who does Healthy Homes assessments full-time. That's their job. We can put you in touch with the right people if you have any questions. Another key message there, just don't wait. Get it done now, get across what you need, because if you leave it to the urgent situation, it's going to affect your outcome. So 3rd step here of the 4 steps to compliance is get compliant. Your assessment is your to-do list. As soon as you have that information on hand, you can start organising quotes, you can start talking to tradespeople, you can start budgeting, and you can start saving. The longer you leave it, the more it's going to cost. I'm assuring you that, especially if you find yourself in a 90-day countdown trigger situation and you're telling everyone that you have to have it done within 90 days. Now, I referenced financial support earlier. A number of the banks, particularly ANZ and Westpac, offer specific loans for landlords just for the Healthy Homes compliance work. And also some local councils will offer loans to their ratepayer that can be paid back over time across the rates. As an example, if you're under the Auckland Council Isthmus, you can Google search retrofit your home payments and you can find out more there. But the final step to getting compliant for the Healthy Home standards is get all your records together. I've highlighted the need to have all of that information, the detail, the measurements, the evidence. If you were ever asked about Healthy Home standards in a tenant says, I'd like to see how you came up with this calculation, you're legally required to provide that information. So keep those records. 4 easy steps there, but if you want more information, we are here to help. There is our full Landlord Academy series video, which was a big deep dive into the RTA Amendments Act. You can find that at landlordacademy.co.nz and look for part 2. It's all on the Healthy Home standards. Look, these videos are designed to help landlords whether you work with us or not, so please make the most of those. Now, we get a lot of common questions around the Healthy Home standards, so I want to squash a few of them right now and clear up any misconceptions there from landlords. The first one, our tenants don't want heat pumps in the property. They said they'll really be used. They're also willing to put this in writing and include it in the tenancy agreement. Can I get an exemption? Unfortunately, no. No matter what is agreed between yourself and your tenant, it's not going to protect you from anything here. At the end of the day, you have a legal requirement to meet the heating standard no matter what your occupant is telling you. So if you have one of these types of agreements in that tenancy document, it's not going to protect you. It's not going to prevent any claims coming at you later on, so that won't help. My home is brand new, so it already complies. I don't need to do anything further. Can you just put that in the tenancy agreement? So newsflash landlords, even if your home is brand spanking new, you've just got the keys, it doesn't actually mean you may comply with the Healthy Home Standards. We've personally seen issues around the heating standard, sometimes even the ventilation and the window sizes of some of the new builds. Some new build properties will fail the standards. So the only way you can know for sure is to get the assessment done and find out what's needed at your specific rental. But I don't have to do anything until 2024. Yes, that is correct, but only in a situation where you have a sitting tenant with no changes, no lease renewals or updates there. And as I've explained in this video, the longer you leave it, be prepared for a negative outcome. If I've approved all of the work and then experienced delays due to the demand and this pushes me past the deadline, will I be safe? We've heard it loud and clear from Tenancy Tribunal and MB that we've all known about this long enough. So if you end up in one of those 90-day trigger situations and you approve everything and you're held up because of delays of heat pump stock or extractor fans, whatever it might be, it's not necessarily going to prevent your risk of fines, even if you've approved it all to go ahead. That's simply telling us we should know better. So again, key message there, get started, get across it now. Look, if you want more information, we have plenty of resources there for you. This one on the left here, the Healthy Homes Compliance Checklist, that is great. So that's a full checklist going through all of the standards. You can measure up your property, how it compares. It will instantly tell you what work might need to be done and refer you to who you can talk to find out more. This other one here, the Landlord Information Guide, that is a significant document. Not only does it cover off Healthy Home Standards, it covers off everything. RTA Amendment Act, all sorts of changes, onboarding your tenant, so many good things in there. Request that from us now. It's there to help. So get your free resources from your Ray White property manager. Visit raywhite.co.nz to find your local person to get that from. Plenty of things we can help you with landlords around the Healthy Home Standards. We can give you advice on your own specific needs. We can put you in touch with the local Healthy Homes assessors that we use. Heck, we can even put you in touch with the contractors we're using to get the work done. All it takes is picking up the phone and giving us a call. We can also give you clarification on your specific tenancy too, and what might happen and when that 90-day trigger may come into place. So if you'd like to look at some great websites there for some independent research, we've got tenancy.govt.nz, hud.gov.nz and landlords.co.nz. Look, thanks so much for watching, and I just want to remind everyone we're here to help. So if you have any questions, give us a call and we're happy to give you the answers. Thanks.